Yo, what's going on, guys? Squid here, and today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about one of my favorite games of all times, Persona 5. Now, if you don't know what Persona 5 is, it is a JRPG made by the company Atlas, and basically the story is that you are a high school student that lives in Japan who got taken away from his hometown because he was wrongly accused of assault, and and so they moved him to a new school where everyone hates him, and he lives in Tokyo and he lives in the attic of a restaurant with a man named Sojiro Sakura. And basically the gameplay comes down to two things. Basically, one side is the normal everyday world, like your school life, hanging out with your confidants, so that's your friends, and getting your social stats up. And the other side has to do with palaces. Now you may be asking, what is a palace? A palace is someone's distorted desires materialized. So basically, what the Phantom Thieves do, which is your group, takes their distorted desires away. That way that the people with those distorted desires will confess to their sins with their own mouths, basically. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, okay. So basically, so I might be wondering, why is this a good game? It sounds like it's two separate games. Well, the thing about it is, the reason why I like it is that the school life / the real life corresponds with the battles. And basically, whatever you do, like if you upgrade a confidant for that during the real world, right, it directly correlates with the things that happen in the battles. And so like, let's say you get a part of, like, you get your confidant up with the doctor, right? You get better healing items. Or if you get a confidant up with your party member, they will have a chance to not die on a move that's a one-hit KO. They will push you out of the way. You can get more crits with them. All of that good stuff. So that's one of the main reasons why I like Persona 5 so much. Now, trust me, this video is not going to do it justice because it is over 100 hours long, and I don't think I could. I'm really trying not to spoil anything. But another reason to just play this game is because A, the soundtrack's amazing. B, the soundtrack's amazing, the story's amazing. Now, without going into too much detail, this story does get very, very deep. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, the first palace is about this corrupted teacher who thinks he's the king of the school, and who abuses all the students of his volleyball team, right? And, that's not cool. So what do? We go into his palace, steal his treasure, beat him up like the bosses that we are, right? And then he confesses with his own mouth all his sins, and people are like, wow, Oh, and another thing I forgot about is that before you steal their heart, before you steal their treasure, the treasure has to materialize by giving. So what you have to do is you have to send out a calling card. So that way they know that their desires will be taken from you, and that the desires will materialize, so that way you can actually take them. So then, once he confesses with his own mouth, like the calling card says, everyone's like, whoa, are the Phantom Thieves real? Are they not real? And then it kind of just starts going uphill until Akechi comes, and he's like, well, I don't like the Phantom Thieves. And so at one point of the story, everything goes back downwards. And basically, it's just a whole lot of fun to play. Now, in my opinion, I don't like turn-based RPGs that much. And it's a good game when a person that doesn't like turn-based RPGs spent over 100 hours on a game and is buying the new one that's coming out, and when I'm recording this, 3 days. So yeah, that's cool, right? And trust me, I will be doing with Royal, the new Persona 5 Royal, right? I will be going more in depth with everything and what I like, but really, like, it's just a good game. If you don't want to play the game, or you want to you don't know the story or something, after my first playthrough of Royal, I am going to stream Royal, Persona 5 Royal, so you can either watch that. Honestly, if you want to, what you should check out the soundtrack of Persona 5, because there are some bangers. And one of the main things, like I said before, one of the main things I really, really like about it is that whatever happens in the real world corresponds with the palaces. Oh, and another thing I forgot. Sorry, as you guys can probably tell, I'm not using a script because I can't use a script, I guess. I don't know, I was too lazy to. But another thing I like is that Persona 5 is not one of those JRPGs where to get the story right, you have to continuously grind and grind and grind and grind and grind and grind and grind for multiple hours. Because of the thing is that there are only a set number of days in the game that you have, which makes all your decisions worth more, because you're like, okay, I have this many more days until this happens. Should I go into the palace? Should I get my confidence up? Should I do this? Should I do that? Like, you have to decide what's more important to you on that day, which I like. And another thing I like is that there's a thing called mementos, which is everyone's palace, which is basically just where all the side quests are, but most of the confidants you do, and when you get up to the higher levels, you have to do something in mementos, which is cool. I don't really like mementos personally, but just that aspect of it is cool, because it's like, well, why do some people have really, really big palaces? Like, what about the rest of the world? Well, the rest of the world has the same palace called mementos, and what happens is that once their desires become very, very distorted, they will get the mementos will give them their own palace. Like, they will break off mementos and go into their own palace, and that's where the Phantom Thieves come in. I also forgot to say who the main cast are, I think. I don't know if I did or not. Well, there's your main protagonist, which his codename is Joker. You got Ryuji, which his codename is Skull. You got Morgana, and his codename is Mona. You got An, which her codename is Panther. You got Yusuke, and his codename is Fox. You got what's her name? Makoto, whose name is Queen. You got Futaba, who is the Oracle. You got Haru, who is Noir. And you got Akechi, and Akechi's name is Crow, and he really likes pancakes. If you guys haven't played the game, you don't know that joke. But, yeah, honestly, like, Persona 5, like I said, there's no way with this short, I could talk about this game for hours, right? But the reason I like it so much is the reason why I'm not going very much in depth to it, because, yeah, I played this game like the end of 2019 into 2020, right? And the game has been out since 2017, and I didn't spoil myself on anything, which is the main reason why I think it's better to not spoil someone with this amazing game. Because if you spoil it, then there's no point in going for the amazing story. Like, all the confidants, you see them in the story, right? Like, most of them, like the main group, right? Like the Phantom Thieves, you see them in the story. But just going in and seeing how how they personally react to everything, or how, like, you help them out with things in the game, and how you could, like, the character development in this game is really, really good. And you just kind of have to believe me on this. If you guys really want to, you should play the game, which I know it's hard because a lot of people might not have a PS4, which is what the game's on. So that's why I'm saying that I'm gonna stream it. I'm also probably gonna do a tier list of all the Persona characters. If you guys already know the Persona characters, you want to know my thoughts about it. And then I'm going to be giving once the day Royal comes out, I'm going to be doing my first impressions on it after probably playing like a few hours. I'm going to give my personal preferences on it. And then I'm going to go into a more in-depth review on Persona 5 Royal. And then I'm going to stream Royal, so that way people can understand why I like this game so much. So yeah, I'm sorry if like you were expecting this to go into more in depth, but I would normally go more in depth into a game I love this much, right? But since there's a new version of the game coming out soon, I decided that it would not be right if I just spoiled the game for you guys, which that would be really mean of me. So that's why I'm not going to. But if you guys did enjoy and you wanted to hear more about my thoughts about Persona 5, don't forget to smash that like button down below. I hope this is edited very well, because I wasn't the one that edited it. So I hope the editing was really well. If you guys want to go see my editor's channel out, it will be in the description and at the end card. I hope you guys all enjoy, and peace out.